Great baseball question. Who was a greater Minnesota Twin? Was it Carew or Kirby Puckett? Now, Carew played longer, and he's going to win the statistical category. However, at their height of heights, Puckett got an answer. You know, the argument for Carew was because he was an incredible hitter. I will say this: it's a funny true story. As a little boy, I actually had that plastic bat and ball. It was the Rod Carew set. That's how big Rod Carew was, even with the Minnesota Twins, where they weren't even a successful team. But his respect as a hitter was on par with that of a Pete Rose and before Tony Gwynn. He was a respected hitter who hit for average, and he was a balance. He wasn't the power slugger that Puckett was, and the dexterity, and he played second base. He was in the infield, but he was respected with what he could do with his numbers. He was an all-around, strong, great talent that could put the ball in place, and he was really respected. He was definitely somebody that I thought a lot of, and I thought that he was the truth. And so when you put that in context, he didn't have the same amount of postseason experiences because, again, baseball was a different game back in the day. You know, if your team stunk, your team stunk. You could stand out. And the thing about baseball, unlike the NFL to an extent, and definitely about basketball, you can be great on a scrub team, but you can be remembered. Your team might not ever win jack, but because you stood out and your numbers count for something. So that's the recurring theme and argument there. So that's what he's got going for him. But anyway, um, Carew was a bad boy. He was bad. He was the truth. He really was one of those guys that you studied and watched his hitting and his technique. He was the stone cold truth, and he could really, he was a player's player. He was great. But when we get to Kirby Puckett, pudgy cat, um, carried body weight, and unfortunately, he caught glaucoma, which limited his playing career. But what he did in that window, caught 2 rings, and nobody gonna forget the '91 World Series because remember Ron Gant hit that ball, and he climbed up on that wall, got that rock, won the game with a home run. I mean, could you do more dramatic? Could you be more clutch? And that's how people remember him. Puckett was dependable. He was clutch. He could give you the feel. He was 6-time Gold Glove winner in center field. So don't let the size, let the it's the heart of the matter man fool you. He was a beasting out there. He would hit for power. He had the whole nine. You know, both of them are Hall of Famers. Both of them are first tier. And I do believe that if Puckett had to play longer, he would have overtook Carew with numbers because his short term, his window was bigger and better. But Rod Carew, it doesn't take away, was a great pure talent. You know, both of them great players. But we're just talking about Minnesota Twins. And I think more people would probably lean more towards Puckett because of the significance of the postseason. He won all his series. He won 2 rings, and he came up huge. And I think that in the totality, they're going to give him an edge because of what he represented in the big picture. I'm just saying, because sometimes it's hard to argue against a guy that not only does it in the regular season, even though Carew got better numbers, but but he came up in the money time. That's what we always talk about, money time. That's what separates you. That's how you become part of the folklore, and the people just hold you in high regard. So um, it's a compelling argument because they were two of my favorite players watching back in the day. So anyway, let me know who you got. Who you think was the better Minnesota Twin? Rod Carew or Kirby Puckett? Feel free to let me know in the comments and what's your standard. And do you think if Kirby had to play out as long as Carew that he'd have broken more records and had more? What do you think? Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. Share it if you like, and hit that membership because when you do, requests like this come true. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out. Peace.